Hello you guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Rave Culture Podcast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I'm your host, Emma Kapotes. Thank you guys so much for being here and for tuning in this week. Wow, we have an awesome episode. I know I say this every week, but today I'm super excited because we have a guest coming on later that I got the chance to interview, and I absolutely love her to death. She's such a sweetheart. She's a pretty big part of the EDM community. I'm sure a bunch of you might know of her. So I'm really excited to share the conversation that I got to have with her today. I think you guys are really gonna like it. We are both like total nerds and geek out about the EDM community because we both love it so much and it's such a huge part of our lives. So you can expect us to cover a lot of topics today. I know I'm sort of just jumping straight into this, but yeah, you can expect us to cover a whole bunch of topics in the EDM community. We're gonna talk music festivals and a little bit about like adulting and balancing raving and going to festivals. She's had a couple of life changes recently that we're going to get into, so you guys can expect all of that coming up. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you guys as always for listening every week, for rating and reviewing the podcast on iTunes, and for subscribing. I'm also posting videos up on YouTube, so if you guys didn't already know, I have a YouTube channel under my name, Emma Kapotes, and I am posting the weekly podcast up there if you want to see some video behind the scenes. Still working on getting video of the interviews. You know, I'm like new to recording podcasts and doing all this stuff. I know we're on episode 18, but doing interviews and everything is new to me. So I might try Skype at some point, but I do want to get video of the caller on the other end. But until then, you guys can stare at my face and this big baggy t-shirt that I'm wearing today, which totally has a stain on it. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. I've sort of decided that the trend of the podcast is that I'm going to be wearing oversized t-shirts and long sleeves because I just want to be the most comfortable when I'm recording this. I usually record it later at night, sometimes on the weekends, but this is like the anti-YouTube Emma, the very chill, no makeup, not getting dressed up, just chilling at home recording. And I want to be comfortable and I want it to feel like we're just sitting down and having a conversation in the comfort of our homes or wherever you're listening to this right now, on your way to work. I've heard in a sauna, at the gym, whatever you're doing, I want, you know, it to come off as authentic and we're just hanging out together. And also I don't really want to put makeup on or an outfit on after I get home from work, so there's that. But anyway, that's the deal with everything. You guys can also check me out on Instagram and Twitter. It's at Emma Kapotes or at raveculturecast, at raveculturecast. If you guys want to follow along with the podcast, I need to get some clips going up on that Instagram, so I gotta pick up my shit over there. But if you guys want to just stay in touch with me, I usually post things about getting submissions for upcoming episodes, polls, questionnaires, so definitely check me out over there so you guys can have some input on upcoming episodes. Actually, while I'm on that topic, I'll just mention you guys can always send in any submissions to raveculturecast@gmail.com, raveculturecast@gmail.com. You guys can send in emails, voice memos if you want to include that. I would absolutely love to have your voices on the podcast coming up. But yeah, any topic suggestions or episode ideas or people you want me to interview on here and have a conversation with, feel free to send me anything. If you want advice on something, I'm thinking about doing just one big Q&A episode as well, where we just like topic juggle and get through a whole bunch of things related to the EDM community and festivals. So anyway, that's always open, raveculturecast@gmail.com. Right now, I actually am looking for submissions for two things. One, I know I mentioned this last week, but I want to know your unpopular EDM opinions. So I think this is such a fun topic. Every time I see this trend on Twitter or this thread, I love reading what people say, and I think it'd be really cool to get your opinions on this. An unpopular EDM opinion obviously is just like going against the grain. Are there any artists that are really popular that you think are overrated? It can be anything. It could be about a genre, anything in the EDM community, so definitely send those over to me. And then I also want to know, for a separate episode, how do you carry the plur mentality into your daily lives? If you've been somebody that's been raving for a while or attending EDM shows for a while, you'll know that PLUR stands for peace, love, unity, and respect. It's sort of like a motto and a life mantra for a lot of ravers. I know Pasquale Rotella, who is the owner of Insomniac and EDC Las Vegas, he runs all those festivals. It's just something that he promotes a lot, and it's just a really incredible way to think about this community and the love that's shared throughout people and the respect that a lot of ravers have for each other. So I'm sort of curious how you take the PLUR mentality from that you feel at a music festival into your daily lives. Like, is there any way you incorporate it? Do you have like a Rave fam you regularly stay in touch with? So yes, please send those submissions as well. Again, voice memos are welcome. Just attach those to the email and let me know that you guys are okay with me sharing them. Alrighty, I kind of want to get into the episode today because I have a feeling she and I are going to talk for a long time. So no EDM news today. Your girl is actually on vacation this week. I know in the video I'm sitting at home, but in actuality I'm recording this a week early so that I can take a break next week. But I will be back in next week's episode with some updates, some EDM news for you guys. The last thing I want to quickly mention are the upcoming shows and festivals I have. So I will be at Electric Zoo all 3 days. I'm definitely going to be planning on doing multiple meetups, just waiting for the festival map to come out and for set times to come out, because this lineup is so stacked. I have a feeling I'm going to have an absolutely packed schedule because there's so many people I want to see, and I haven't been to EZoo since 2017, so I'm just like, I'm itching for a festival right now, and this is near my hometown. I literally cannot wait to be there. So excited to meet all of you guys, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be at Imagine Music Festival, which is at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, I believe, and that's in September 22nd to the 24th, around then. Or is it might be the 20th to the 22nd, I forget. But I'll be there Friday through Sunday with my girl Vibe with Aid. We'll also be having meetups there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be hosting one with the Lunchbox family as well. I love them so much. They're so awesome. I had they were on my episode, The Ultimate Festival Companion. They're doing some really incredible initiatives. You know, they have the anti-theft hydration pack, but they're also working with medics and ground control at festivals to make backpacks that are more visible, that have like the little red cross on them, so that people in the audience can see medical help and find it more quickly, and it's more visible to them. So they're doing some really incredible stuff. So they're going to be at Imagine, and I'm going to try and team up with them. So stay tuned for all of that. I'll be coming up with updates when it's closer to the festival. And that's all I've got. Okay, so let's get into today's episode and our guest on the podcast today. So today I'm super excited to welcome Cotton Candy. She is a content creator in the EDM and music festival space. She is an absolute sweetheart, just as her name suggests. That's like her rave name. She's got a pretty big following on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. She is always sharing some awesome like EDM related memes, stories. She's always posting different threads that a lot of people contribute to on Twitter. I love her Twitter, it's great. You'll probably see a lot of like rave companies also like screenshot and share the tweets that she does. So she's like always on social media. You guys can always get in touch with her. She also has a YouTube channel, which is awesome. She has incredible EDM vlogs. This girl travels all over the world. It's freaking crazy. I don't know how she does it, but we're gonna be talking about it today. I have a lot of questions for her, but she just had a super packed summer. She was in Europe and attended a bunch of festivals. She is a huge hardstyle fan. She loves happy hardcore music. I hope I'm getting that correct. Darren Styles is like her absolute favorite DJ. So very opposite of me, which is another reason I was excited to have her on here, because I often neglect hardcore music and hardstyle music. So we're going to be talking about that as well, you guys. So all my hardstyle fans out there, get excited. I'm going to be ask her for like suggestions on artists, who should we be listening to, all that fun stuff. So you guys can follow her there. I personally really quickly became familiar with her through YouTube. She is also a die-hard EDC Las Vegas fan. That's how I found her, through her EDC Las Vegas tips videos and advice videos. We got to talking because we have a lot in common, and now I've met her twice. But not for long enough. I have to talk to her about that. Like, I met her at EDC 2018. There was a meetup, a Reddit meetup, so I got to meet her there. And then last year, I literally saw her for like a minute. I swear, she had to run. So that sucked. So I do want to hang out with her soon at another festival or show or something like that. But we are both very much in the eat, sleep, rave, repeat mentality, and that's where the name of the episode came from. I thought that was perfect. We're both like deeply ingrained in this community. It's given a lot to us. We love it so much. So I'm super excited to just pick her brain about a ton of stuff coming up in the EDM community, music festivals, like I said, hardstyle music, budgeting. I'm going to try and get as much as I can crammed into one episode, and if I have to, we will have a follow-up with her. So you guys will have to let me know what you think about this episode. I definitely want to hear feedback on it because I would love to have her back. And we haven't even already played the interview, you guys. That's how you know it's going to be good. So anyway, without further ado, please welcome to the podcast, Cotton Candy.
I'm okay.
So I did like a quick little intro to you, but for those of the people listening who are not familiar with you, could you just give like a quick background about yourself, where you're from, just share a little bit about your story, your age, and any other background info you want to include so that the listeners can get to know you a little bit better?
My name is Cotton Candy. That's like my front-facing influencer name. I am originally from Southern California. I got into raving really young. Like my first rave in Southern California, I was 13. And I currently live in Utah. I lived in Utah for a job, which I just quit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to stay here just because it's cheap and I don't mind it. It's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, originally growing up in SoCal, I raved a lot. And so I've been in the EDM scene for 11 years. Yeah, I'm 24.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. But yeah, I never grew out of it. I think a lot of people who I like originally started raving with 11 years ago, most people grow out of it. And I think when I first started, maybe like my mom thought it was just a phase, but I am still really into the music. I'm even more involved in the scene than I obviously was when I was 13.
Yeah. That's so cool. Wait, I know you did a video on your first rave, right?
I did a video of my first year of raving when I was 13 and 14, which was
so crazy.
2008, 2009. And so I used to go raving in San Bernardino, California. Events used to be all ages. And it was a lot different than what people call the rave scene now. Like raves now, people call music festivals raves. But no, when I started raving, it was just like this small, dark location with a DJ playing music, very minimal lighting, if anything. Like it was a real rave.
Yeah. No, that's so cool. I feel like you got to just experience like a whole nother side of it. And in Southern California, you guys just had, you continue to have all the events, like a lot of the Insomniac events are out there. So do you feel like that was just a nice area to be in, to just like be exposed to that so young?
Oh yeah, like 100%. I just feel like if I grew up anywhere else, like most places weren't going to have such a huge rave scene, especially ones that were like all ages that I could just go to. And Insomniac events, Insomniac didn't used to be as big as they are now. Of course, they were just one of the companies doing like bigger music festivals. I do have that video about my first year of raving, and Nocturnal 2009 was my first Insomniac event ever. And it was so crazy because I was used to going to like these little raves, and they tried as hard back then as they do now with their production quality, like trying to make it an experience. And they had like all these rides and like really crazy decorations, and yeah, it was a lot of fun and it blew me away. And I'm actually going to Nocturnal next.
You are? I was gonna ask. So awesome. It's
going to be my 10-year anniversary of my first Insomniac event, my first massive event. So Nocturnal 2009, Nocturnal 2019. It just felt right.
Yeah, that's awesome. When was the last one you went to Nocturnal? Or was it in 2009?
No, I've been quite a few times. I think I've been about 5 times, like throughout the years. My last time was 2017. So 2 years ago, and then 2015, 2016, and yeah, they were all held. These past few ones that I've been to have always been held at that Glen Helen Regional Park area. Yeah, I'm excited for my anniversary.
That's cool. And you're gonna camp too?
Yep. That's like the best part about
Nocturnal.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll get into it in a little bit. I want to like pick your brain about some of your favorite festivals because I know you've attended a lot more recently. I'm sort of like curious about which is awesome because you've experienced a lot. But before we get into that, I wanted to ask where you got your name from, Cotton Candy.
Oh, also in my video, it's like an origin video. I have pictures and stuff. So back in the day when I first started raving, everybody had a rave name. Like it was something like really obscure or like themed. So there was like Sparkles and Glow Stick and Panda. And like a lot of the times people didn't know each other's real names. Like my close group of friends, from back then, I couldn't tell you what their real names were. Like I was in a rave family called SPR, Stop, Pop, and Roll, and like the rave mom was Trigger, and the rave mom was Neo, and I had all these like crazy rave names.
That's awesome.
But I was actually in a relationship, and I was like 14, so I didn't really know anything, but they named us Oxy and Cotton, so they were Oxy and I was Cotton. It's not appropriate, and I didn't even know what it was at the time, but it was just cute because we were a couple, so I was like,
that's really funny.
We actually got Rave married at Nocturnal 2009. Anyone who's been to the Nas Event Center, Nocturnal used to be there, so we got Rave married on the little bridge, like over the pond, and there was this huge crowd, and everybody made a big deal about it, and it was really fun. But shortly after, we broke up, and so I was going to all these events and introducing myself as Cotton, and it didn't really make sense, like, without Oxy being there with me, so I was just Cotton, and someone felt really bad for me and decided to re-rave name me right there at that event, Cotton Candy. They just added the candy, and so I was like, still me, but yeah, and so I've been Cotton Candy for 10 years. I think a lot of people that think that my name is just like my name on social media, but like I've been Cotton Candy for like 10 years, and anyone who like would remember me from back in the day, they like have always called me just Cotton or Candy. So
oh my god, no, it's totally ingrained in your life at this point.
Like even my family, like my family is very supportive and excited about me being Cotton Candy. Like my birthday present and my birthday cake say Cotton Candy.
I love that. It's really fun. That's so cute. Oh my god. Yeah, I had to get that background story just because in case anybody's like not super familiar with you. I wish they still did that.
I do too. It was
some
so
people
much
have them, but not that many.
No, I feel like it's evolved into the people who do have like these fun names. It's like their social media handle. So they're known by like their social media handle. It's not like someone like has a rave name. And a lot of people have really cool handles, but like in real life and at events, they don't go by their handle. They still go by like their real name.
Sure. God, no, I love it. I love that. That's like a whole part of your personality. Okay. So one other thing I wanted to chat about before we get started, I like to ask everybody who comes on here who their favorite artists are. And I know you have a few.
Oh my gosh. Like my favorite artist of all time would be Darren.
I did at it before you came on, but I was like, we got to talk about this. Yeah.
Man, I'm such a hardcore stan. I feel kind of like weird now because like I know him like on a personal level. So I see him all the time now, like at events, and it's just gotten weird because I started listening to him before I started raving. So I listened to his music on YouTube when I was like 10 years old back in like 2005. Yeah.
And this is Darren Styles, right?
Yeah, Darren Styles. So he's been around a really long time, and I just loved his music. I loved happy hardcore, and I'm surprised after all this time that he's still like my favorite producer DJ of all time. He's obviously evolved over the years, and there's never been anything of his that I haven't absolutely loved. I love that he's growing, and I guess as I'm growing into a different person, like I've just followed his music, and it seemed right, and I am really proud of like everything he's accomplished lately. I feel really a strong connection to his music, and I'm really happy he exists. I think everybody out there has like one DJ that they just like, they've done so much for them as a person, and you're just eternally grateful. That's exactly how I feel with Darren.
And how is it like talking to him and like knowing him now? Is that the weirdest thing ever?
It really is. I don't like it. Like he follows me on social media, and I'm like, please, I hope he has me muted, and his wife follows me, and I'm like, I really hope they have me muted, because I'm just like this rave girl, this like 24-year-old rave girl, and I post just all these dumb rave memes and girly stuff, and
no, he probably loves it.
We'll see.
So cool.
I did post a picture of what my like Halloween outfit was going to be, and it was like this little girl wearing a giant cotton candy costume, and he loved that, and I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
No, that's so awesome. Is he British?
Yes.
He is. Okay, I was going to say. Yep. Okay. Well, so one thing I wanted to chat a little bit about was just because I recently did a video like describing the different EDM genres, and I got eaten alive about like the comments I said about hardstyle and hardcore music, which fair enough. I do not know that much about it. So I did want to touch on it a little bit today because I know you love it so much. So with your expertise on it, can you just explain to me and to some of the listeners, like you don't have to go into detail, but like what is the main genre and what are the subgenres?
A lot of misconception, like Darren is actually becoming really big in the United States and like a few other places. So he's a happy hardcore DJ, and a lot of people are confusing him with hardstyle because he sounds like kind of like hardstyle, and there are literally no other happy hardcore DJs that play in the US. So he's just kind of grouped with all the hardstyle DJs that are playing here. Like he plays on the hardstyle stage, and he's the only happy hardcore person. So people definitely get confused and don't really understand, especially when they're new to the genre. So hardstyle, so hard dance music is the correct term. It's kind of like EDM. It's a blanket term. So you have hard dance music, and then underneath would be hardstyle, which is like 150 BPM, and then hardcore, which is like starts at 170 and then branches off to like all these crazy like really fast BPMs, and like some hardstyle is like euphoric, and which is like uplifting, more positive, happy, melodic. And then there's like raw, it's really like edgy and hardcore and like distorted. They had just two different styles. And then hardcore music in the Netherlands, where like hardstyle and hardcore are like really big. Also Italy. Sorry, I don't want to get eaten alive either. There's a lot to it. There's so many different genres and subgenres and styles. But for most of the hard dance music scene, hardcore is actually a different style of music than what Darren is. So it's a lot more edgy. It's really fast. It kind of fits more with like the hardstyle scene. Happy hardcore is like on the outskirts. A lot of people, especially in the hardstyle, like hardcore scene, do not accept happy hardcore as part of hard dance music. It's like off to the side. It's too like, people argue like it's not hardcore, which is like the more
they don't think it's angsty enough.
So what he does is like really happy. It's like fast like hardcore. It's faster than hardstyle. It's really happy and like positive and just melodic, and it's very unique. There's not a lot of stuff out there like it. But yeah, a lot of people don't like to group it with hard dance. So happy hardcore is its own thing. It's definitely kind of like an outcast, but Darren has really been pushing it, and more people are starting to accept his music in the hard dance scene because it's kind of taking influence from hardstyle. So I was at DEF CON 1 a few weeks ago or a month ago, and a lot of people were dropping his music. So a lot of hardstyle DJs were playing his music. So that's a big deal. That's a huge stepping stone for him, and I'm really excited.
That's so cool. No, thank you for clarifying all that, because I think even just for people who are just beginning and getting into that genre, it helps just to know a little bit of the difference. And of course, like I never want to group it into one thing, because that's like saying all house music sounds the same or all techno sounds the same. So I know there are definitely like differences within it. And the stuff you've recommended to me, which is why I wanted to, any of this you want to throw out there, I really liked the happy hardcore stuff, especially like easing into it. I feel like that's a good intro into the genre. But are there any other people that you really like that are in hard dance?
See, you picked up on it really well. Yeah. Hard dance music is like the best term you can use to not be eaten alive. It's like the blanket term.
I'm learning,
So hard dance, you're going to be safe with that. It covers a lot of bases. Darren Styles' happy hardcore is like my favorite. I do like a lot of different genres under hard dance music. So I like hardstyle, and I don't lean more towards euphoric or raw, which are like the two main ones. Euphoric is like uplifting and really melodic. If I was going to recommend someone who likes like happier EDM, melodic, I would go for like Code Black and Atmospheres. And then if you like really edgy, if you like for example dubstep, like really raw, edgy, or like rhythm, you could probably hang with raw hardstyle. And I would suggest like Malice or Rebellion. They're really, really, really hard.
Okay, gotta look this up after.
Yeah, and then they're edgy, man. It takes a lot to like, it's a lot of bass. And then happy hardcore, Darren Styles is my favorite for sure.
Okay.
Is
Awesome.
that
No,
like
thank
enough to
you.
get people started?
I think so. No, that's perfect. I think at least for me, my intro to it and association is only through EDC Las Vegas. So of course it's like, okay, you're just going to group in whoever Pasquale puts on the hardstyle stage. And like you said, it's like you kind of just have to group people into there. But so that was my only association with it. But I think this is a great jumping point for anybody else too, who like maybe they don't know anything about the genre. They can all go look up those artists. And then Atmospheres is one that I know I like. One of my subscribers suggested that, and I actually did like that a lot. So thank you for getting more into the genre. Let's see what else I want to chat about. So you brought up a couple things. I wanted to back up a little bit and chat about your summer, because I think you've had a bit of a wind of a summer and you've gone to a couple festivals in the last month. So can you take us through some of the ones you went to recently and just give a quick review on how they went?
The most recent ones I went to, I was in Europe for 3 weeks doing 3 different festivals in 3 different countries.
Oh my God.
So I know I'm still tired. So I did three festivals in under 2.5 weeks. So I did DEF CON 1 in the Netherlands at the end of June, which is like a mecca for hard dance music festivals. Like it's the most famous hard dance music event. It's kind of like EDC in Tomorrowland. Like any EDM fan, it's like a spiritual journey to go there. It's like the exact same for DEF CON 1 for like hard dance music lovers. And
your videos were crazy. Like the production there looked nuts. Yeah.
Oh, insane. I couldn't believe it. Like, oh my goodness. It is
the fireworks and shit.
Hands down the craziest festival in the world. It's just insane.
Oh my God.
And then after DEF CON 1, I traveled to Electric Love Festival in Austria, which started like 2 days later. So I literally just got on like a bus and went all the way to Austria to go to this festival. And I really liked that one. It was really, really small compared to DEF CON 1, obviously like one of the biggest festivals in the world. I would say it was kind of like the size of Electric Zoo. I know you've been to that. And the main stage was a lot bigger though still. It was a really good production for like being such a small event. And I didn't know what to expect just coming from DEF CON 1. And it turns out when I got there, everyone there loved hardstyle. And it was so weird because I didn't know what I was getting myself into, because it was like a very diverse lineup. It was like your typical EDC lineup, just smaller. So it had like the big names, and then it had like some dubstep and trap and hardstyle. But like every stage I went to, they were all playing hardstyle and like people loved it. It was so weird.
Awesome.
I just didn't know what the scene was. I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, hard dance is just really popular in Europe in general.
Right. I was going to say maybe they just get it a little bit more.
Yeah, because I think like the main place for hard dance music is, or hardstyle at least, is in the Netherlands. And so just in Europe, like all those countries are so close together. They just kind of like, it's like very common.
Yeah.
It's like dubstep here in the US. It's like everyone out there likes hard dance music, or at least hardstyle.
Right. Okay.
And then 2 days later, after Electric Love, I traveled from Austria all the way to Croatia for a 6-day long hard dance music event, and it was crazy. It was really intense. So I did so much like festivaling in such a short period of time. So it was really intense, and it was a lot of hardstyle and hard dance music.
No way. So was that just like, not comparing to this, but like a Miami Music Week where it was just a full week of different events essentially?
No, so it was like the whole event took place on like a beach, and it wasn't like stages. It was like they rented out all of the clubs on this beach, and so all of the clubs were stages, and you can go to and from them. But then there was a beach, and then there were like boat parties, so you can get on like a boat on that beach, and then they'll take you out on the water. It's like this whole event was centered on this beach. But yeah, it was really open, and it was in one area, but it was really open. Like you could hang out on the beach, you can come and go as you wanted. There was like boat and pool parties in the daytime at like 1 o'clock until like 5 or 6, and then nighttime parties at the clubs that went from like 8 until 6 a.m. And it was like nonstop partying. It was so crazy, and like all hard dance, but they featured all the different genres of hard dance music. So you had like the raw stuff, like the raw style. You had the hardcore that was really, really fast and hardcore-y. And then the more melodic hard style, I kind of leaned more towards that when I was there. But yeah, I tried to go to all the different stages and like experience different styles. So cool. And I didn't have a bad experience. I really liked all the music.
I was going to say, so for that last one, was that more like a partying kind of atmosphere, or it sounds like it was still fans of EDM music that were there, just as a different vibe than a regular festival?
Well, it was only hard dance music, so
Okay.
it was very interesting. It was just like the DEF CON 1 crowd, how everyone was dedicated to hard dance music, but at the same time, it had a festival, like a chill festival vibe, and like the club vibes, like very, very chill, even though the music is really edgy, like people were just like really relaxed and kind of like a more intimate party. Like people go to clubs and it's just a more intimate setting. That's what the whole place was like. And I mean, there's a beach, so people are just chilling. It was a really nice atmosphere to be around.
That's so cool. And so, question. So when you're traveling to all these things, are you alone, or do you have a buddy that you go with, or a group?
I'm usually always alone when I travel to festivals, but I usually, have friends there.
Meet people along the way.
Yeah, I've been festivaling and traveling to different countries for so long. I have so many friends, and I just meet up with them all at different festivals.
That's awesome.
You know my friend Katerina. Yes. She's insane. She's super awesome. She does 52 festivals a year, 52 festivals in 52 weeks. That's like her thing. So
she's doing it again this year too?
Yep. She just professionally goes to festivals constantly. So basically every festival I go to, she's there. So I always have her at the very least. But yeah, once you travel so much and go to so many festivals, you meet people who are into it too. So you always cross paths with each other again at different festivals, no matter what country it is, and it's really fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, definitely. You're like meeting people along the way. I'm just curious, because like just from seeing online and reading about festivals is like how I become familiar with them. But some of these ones in Europe, like I had heard of DEF CON, but these other ones I would never even know about. Is it just because they're hard dance centric events, or like how do you find out about some of these more obscure ones in Europe?
I like when you're in a scene, particularly like hard dance, everyone just kind of knows about the big ones, and like especially when you start following your friends and they go to an event, it's kind of like word of mouth, like seeing it through their story. Like I have a lot of friends. Yeah, I have a lot of friends in the happy hardcore scene. On a personal level, that's like my group of friends. And so everyone wants to go to DEF CON, but they were all at Hard Island in Croatia last year. Everybody looked like they were having so much fun, and I had so much FOMO, like the hardest. And from that moment on, I was like, I'm going to Hard Island. And so like I did, and it wasn't even my plan to go to DEF CON 1. Like Hard Island just seemed more my cup of tea. In the sun, on the beach, like that just sounded more fun to me. But since I was going there and DEF CON was like a week and a half before, I just decided to go to DEF CON 1. I've never been, and I started this super crazy trip. Intense.
No, that's so awesome. I mean, yeah, again, if anybody wants to check out her experiences, go watch her YouTube videos, because you have EDM vlogs for all of these, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Okay. Let me go check out her YouTube channel. It's under Cotton Candy Rave. So go follow so you guys can check out everything that she did and all of her experiences. So I have to ask this question. I'm going to put you on the spot, but is EDC Las Vegas still your favorite, or did DEF CON sort of push that out?
I said in my review video of DEF CON that I was going to do a video on this. And no, it's fine. Like basically I love them both so much. Like I love EDC Las Vegas so much. It's like my favorite place in the world. But then after going to DEF CON, I was like, wow, like this is also my favorite place in the world. And I haven't been able to decide if I like one over the other. They're so different. EDC is the attendees are like so different, such a different culture. It's all different kinds of music, which I love. And then DEF CON, also my type of people, but it's a completely different crowd, completely different music genres. So it's I can't choose. I love them both equally. They're definitely my favorite festivals in the whole world. They're two of the best, biggest music festivals in the whole world. I wish I could recommend that everyone attend DEF CON because it's so awesome. The fireworks and the lasers are crazy, but it's all hard dance. And I know a lot of people, most people could not go to that festival. They wouldn't be, especially if they don't like it. It's just too specific of a genre. It's too intense for a lot of people. And I think that's what makes it so special, is because everyone there is so into the music, because you're not going to have a break from it. So you have to be really dedicated to the music to be there. And since everyone loves it so much, I think that's why it's such a great crowd. But like awesome. EDC, everyone is so like plur and friendly and happy, and it doesn't matter what genre you like more, everyone's coming together at the same place, which is also beautiful. I can't decide.
Different
I
vibes.
love them both. Yeah. Very
No,
different.
that's totally fair. Totally fair.
But equally as amazing.
No, totally fair. And I talked a little bit about it before you came on, but like EDC Las Vegas is just something that's like deeply ingrained in both of us, and we like love it so much. But no, that's a totally fair answer. So I did actually want to talk about, because I'm sure some people are interested, and I know I get this question a lot, and I don't even travel that much to music festivals. Like I haven't done a European festival before. That's like definitely on my bucket list. Do people ask you a lot of the time, how are you able to do all of these festivals? Like, is this something that budget for? Do you try to keep like a packed schedule? And just like in general, how do you make all of these things happen?
Like scheduling or financially?
A little of both, I guess, and whatever you feel comfortable with to sharing. But just for people wondering, like, how are you able to attend all of these music festivals?
So I will explain how it worked before when I had a job. Right now I don't have a job, so I'm not really going to festivals.
It's going to change. Yeah.
My whole life just changed. I had a pretty good paying job. And I also, being like in the scene so long and being an influencer on social media, I get most of all my tickets for free. Last year I didn't pay for any festival tickets. This year, the only ticket I paid for was my DEF CON 1 ticket. A lot of times, so I'm just really lucky that I've been able to get the tickets for free, because that is what costs the most. The second thing that costs the most is plane tickets, and that's the killer. I have to budget for that. Like, the other expenses are what really was the killer. But I love European festivals, and all my friends are out there, especially in the UK. Just my Rave family is out there, so I want to go out there.
Yeah.
And it's just about strategically looking for deals on plane tickets, budgeting, staying in really cheap places like hostels. The more you travel, you find cheap ways to travel within those different countries. And honestly, it would be as expensive for me to go to Electric Zoo as it would be to go to the UK for a week, because the plane ticket
so crazy.
costs, the plane ticket to New York and Seattle, it costs the exact same amount than it would be to go to London. So
yeah, that's ridiculous.
People think it's more expensive, but it's just as expensive to travel in the US, which is crazy.
Yeah, totally fair. And you work hard too. I mean, you're covering. We could totally do this on another episode. We could get so into just the content creation side, but you're doing coverage and you're doing vlogs and things like that. And like you said, you're really active on all forms of social media. So you're also providing something to the festivals. So I think you're lucky, but you're also working very hard. So I just have to toot your own horn there.
Aw, thanks. Yeah, I do try. It's when I travel, I am traveling for fun, but I'm doing it mostly to create vlogs and videos of all these places that people want to go to but haven't been yet, or they can't go for whatever reason, whether it's finances or just something's getting in the way of them going. I, for a long time, wanted to go to all these big festivals, and then I wasn't going. And then, I just decided to start traveling and sharing those experiences with people through YouTube. And then on Instagram, I like to post a lot of videos on my story. I really like that Instagram stories are a thing, because it just feels more personal. And I like following my friends on social media and seeing them go to all these cool places. And it's such a personal level that I feel like I'm there, and I really appreciate it. So I like following my friends who travel. Kat, again, someone really cool to follow. She is in a different country, on a different continent every week. She's crazy and awesome.
We got to get her on here at some point too, because her story is absolutely nuts. But do you have a favorite form of social media? Because I know I love your tweets. I already talked about your Twitter, but do you have one that's your favorite?
So I used to be really into Twitter. That was my favorite platform in the whole world. I don't have a Facebook. I think it's really toxic. I've been without it for a few years, and I've never missed it. I used to be really into Snapchat. Again, the story. I like that personal level, but they made some changes a couple of years ago, and I didn't like it, and I never went back, and I have no intention of going back, because they introduced Instagram stories, which is the same thing, and I like that it's connected to my feed. I think I really used to love Twitter, but I think Instagram has been my favorite, because it also, you have your little profile with all your different main pictures and stuff, but the story aspect, I just really like a lot, for both sharing my story and looking at other people's stories.
And what's been As far as starting your YouTube channel, what's been your favorite part about doing that?
YouTube is such a different project. It's not so much social media to me. I started doing vlogs for myself. That's what, I mean, I do other videos, but at the end of the day, I'm a music festival vlogger. That's what I center all of my travels around. I just want to go to these festivals and, you know, document, show how cool they are, show my experience. So it was more of an outlet for me to create something out of what I enjoy. So I like going to festivals, but being able to come back and be creative with my videos and actually put it out there. So it's not really social media to me. It's more like a platform just to share my creativity. Hence, like the vlog. You know?
Well, that's too, because you do your reviews and also you're giving tips and information for people, like you said, who might want to attend in the future or just want a better idea of what the experience is actually like. Like I find myself now, more often than not, trying to find people's vlogs. Like Imagine Music Festival, for example, coming up. It's going to be my first time. There were a couple vlogs on it, but mainly it's just people uploading live sets. And I want to see like what the actual experience is like. I want to see videos of the stages and like what it's like walking around. I think it's super helpful, especially since you're covering some of these festivals in Europe that a lot of people don't get to travel to. It's entertaining and it's informational. So I feel like you've got like the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, I need to get like better. And I mean, I am getting better at it. But like, obviously when I started, I was just vlogging whatever. Like I was, like I said, I was just doing it for myself. I wasn't really paying attention. So like I went to Tomorrowland and this was when I barely started taking vlogging more seriously. So I feel like there's a lot of things I could have paid attention to that I could have then taken, and I could have done so many more tips for people going to Tomorrowland. Like there's not a lot of people doing Tomorrowland tips, but at the same time, like I wasn't paying enough attention. Now, like a year or so later, I'm paying more attention for festivals,
certain things,
in order to be able to share and help people out. So I have realized that my vlogs and videos are becoming a platform to share tips and stuff, and so I need to be more aware of that because people aren't posting that kind of stuff on YouTube. Like there's just not very much content about a lot of these festivals, which is weird.
Yeah, no, but it is. I mean, I totally feel you on that. Like I can relate super hard to that, but you live and you learn too. Like you definitely were in the moment, and then now it's a year later, you've grown and your channel's grown, and you kind of can also see like based on feedback and other things like, oh, people want to know, you're really great at this. Like people want to know more information about pricing. I get those questions. They're like, how much was the food? I was like, I don't know. I didn't look at it. I have no recollection of that shit. But you've been better about that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I started to like try to pay attention to is like I would miss stuff. People would ask me things like that, like how much does it cost? Like how much was the ticket and stuff like that. And I like didn't used to include those in my reviews or like my tip videos. So again, feedback, things people have asked me on like the comments and stuff. I pay more attention to that now going to festivals and vlogging for sure.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I know I could literally talk to you about this stuff forever, but at this point, I know, like you said, your schedule's changed a little bit, and I'm very proud of you for taking this to quit your job, because I know you said you want to just like do what makes you happy in life, and that wasn't making you happy anymore. So I know your schedule's changed. Go ahead.
For those who don't know Emma, she's really cool, especially for letting me vent to her about my old job. I was telling her all the time like how much I hated it. So, thanks for listening to me. And
of course,
you texted me as soon as I like quit my job, like the second I did. So
life is
Emma's
short.
Really cool. So I'm really happy I know her. But okay, sorry for being cheesy. But
no. Thank you.
What was your question again?
I was gonna say, so you said you're going to nocturnal, but I know that obviously changes your plans financially and with other things. But do you still have a bucket list of shows or festivals that you still want to attend?
Yeah. So my festival season, like I wanted to do so many more festivals this year, and like I said, all my tickets are usually free. So that helps, but like I have been unemployed for a month. I literally have to budget so hard. Like I've never been so broke before in my life. So I can go to DOS Energy. I love raving, so I don't want to like not rave. So I'm going to DOS Energy because I live in Utah and it's free, so I can swing that. Nocturnal, I found out that is also going to be free for me. I just have to drive there, and it's not that far. Like I can come up with the money to do it, but like that's it, which is going to be hard for me because I just want to rave all the time.
I know. I was going to say, for some people, that's like a ton. But for you, you're like, nah.
Yeah, like, I mean, but I don't do anything. Even when I did like have a job, like I don't don't go to clubs. I don't go to local shows. Like, I only spend my money on, like, the travel expenses so I can go to these events. But yeah, I'm hoping to start my job, like, next week. And if I do that, then I'm hoping I could do another Euro trip at the end of October. I know that's so irresponsible of me to, like, get a job and already spend, like, the money I do have, like, on another trip, but I just really love festivaling. And also, like I said, my Rave family, a lot of them are in the UK, so I want to go out there and, like, hang out with them for Halloween. Like, a lot of my friends are DJing. There's one of the biggest raves in the UK called Westfest Halloween. Raving is really cool. Traveling for festivals is cool, but at the end of the day, like, seeing my friends, that really makes an event for me. And so that's why hopefully I start my job soon, and hopefully I can save money, because I just want to go spend time with my Rave fam.
You've got some time, and all this, I mean, this stuff is temporary. It won't be forever, and definitely, like, lean on anybody you need to lean on in the meantime. But you did Westfest last year too. I think I remember seeing your vlog.
I did that. I think you asked me about my bucket list. I don't know
that's perfect.
Really answered your questions very well this podcast.
No.
But yeah, Westfest was on my bucket list forever, because, like I said, I've been raving a long time. I love Darren Styles so much. So, like, for years and years ago, I was listening to his Westfest sets, because, you know, he's from the UK, so he used to be really big there. So all of the happy hardcore DJs, like, I used to listen to their Westfest live sets, and it was just, like, on my bucket list, one of the places I had to go. So there was EDC, Las Vegas, Tomorrowland, DEF CON 1, and Westfest were, like, my bucket list for years. Like, those were the places. Last year, I mean, going to Tomorrowland was, like, a big deal, but, like, going to Westfest, now that was a big deal, because I was listening to those live sets of Darren Styles for so long, and then I saw him there at Westfest last year, and it was, like, just the craziest thing, man.
Cool. I'm on their website right now.
Like a dream come true.
It's like main stage, drum and bass.
It's really small and underground. Drum and bass is huge.
Jungle, hardcore, hardstyle. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very small. It's not like a big festival. It's like a real rave. It has the real rave vibe.
Nice.
But, like, all these different stages. Yeah, I love it. All of my friends are playing on the HD UK and Hardcore Heaven stage. They're all really cool DJs, so they're worth checking out.
Awesome. Everyone go look them up.
And, of course, Darren Styles, main stage. I have to be there.
Gotta check them out. Okay, besides shows, before we wrap up here, what else are you excited about content-wise, or, like, what's coming up next for you? Like you said, are you trying to do more YouTube videos, or just being active on social media in general?
Yeah, so, like, I was struggling with finding time to do YouTube, because I was working full time. And so the only time I really had to do YouTube videos were, like, the weekends or, like, late at night. But then I want to travel. So I was traveling all the time for, like, every weekend and for, like, weeks at a time to go to these festivals. So I had no time to do YouTube at all. So now I don't have a job, and I had time to do, like, a bunch of videos. I did all my vlogs and reviews from my Europe trip. But, like, the thing is, though, is, like, I like doing other YouTube videos. Like, I have time to do more if I want to, but, like I said, at the end of the day, like, I'm a vlogger. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's what I want to do, is I want to travel to festivals and make vlogs, but I have to cut back a lot.
That's all right. So it'll be temporary.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll probably do more tip videos, but yeah, it's going to be hard not editing vlogs, because that's what I like.
Well, so just super curious, I'll make it quick because I know we have an hour, but so you're in Salt Lake, right? Is there like an EDM scene, or, like, a venue that in particular that people would even go to for EDM shows?
Yeah, the EDM scene is actually pretty darn big here. It wasn't when I first moved here. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm not super active in the scene here, because I was always traveling to different states and countries for events. So I don't support my local scene, which is bad. I feel really bad. I'm never here. I'm always, like, traveling elsewhere. But yeah, I guess I can try and be more involved now that I'm here. I know that guy. So the main event company, the biggest one, is V2 Events. They're the ones who are throwing DOS Energy, which is, like, the biggest festival that we have.
Right.
And then they also do shows at clubs, like this one called Sky is really popular, pretty affordable, and they bring some really good acts there. And there's another big club called Park City Live, which is really expensive sometimes. Like, I think Tiesto was there for like $150, and it was just like,
Oh my
no.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, you might as well go to a festival and like see all these different like big acts for $150.
Right. It's so crazy. And really quickly too, just because I'm curious now, like picking your brain. So I want to go to a festival in California at some point. I know Insomniac has a lot out there. Are there any you would recommend in California?
Dude, have you not been to a SoCal rave?
Nope.
What?
I know. It's a freaking far flight. It's like a 6-hour flight.
That is so true. I felt the same way about EZoo. Like, I was supposed to go to EZoo, and I had to cancel that because it's, way too far, way too much money to go from all the way over
you can't do it in a quick weekend. I would, believe me, like, me being me, I would love to just fly out for the weekend, but like I'm out of vacation days and money wise I would want to stay too. I'd want to go from like a Thursday to a Tuesday or whatever and have more time if I'm like flying all the way out to California. But I mean, Escape is high up on my list. I don't know if you've ever done that one.
Oh my gosh, Escape is my favorite.
Yeah.
So after EDC, Escape Psycho Circus is hands down my favorite Insomniac event.
Okay.
It held at the Nas Event Center, which is like the most popular event with Insomniac. Like I said, my first Nocturnal Wonderland was there at the Nas Event Center, and I've been there. It's a really cool venue, but I've been there at least 50 times, so it's kind of rough going to the same place every year. But for Halloween, for Escape, the decorations and like what they do with their imagination, like it's so much fun. Like, it's different than any other festival I've been to because, you know, like Beyond Wonderland kind of reminds me of a mini EDC. Like, I really like it, but it's so colorful. But like Escape is different than anything else they do because it's like Halloween theme and they really go all out. They have like a haunted house that's actually kind of scary. I don't know anyone out there who knows Rabbit in the Moon. The creative director of Insomniac is Bunny from Rabbit in the Moon.
Okay.
And he said before, like, Escape is his favorite because Rabbit in the Moon is like really obscure and crazy, and so that part of him gets to come out. Of all the events they get to be really, really crazy with Escape, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. And if you're going to your first SoCal event, Insomniac Escape, that's a really good one.
Awesome. Okay, I gotta do that at some point. But thank you so much for coming on. Before we close out here, where can people find you? Can you plug all your social media handles?
Yeah, on Twitter and Instagram, my handle is at _COTTONKANDIKID. So _ Cotton Candy Kid. It was really hard for me to find a handle that was consistent on both Twitter and Instagram. It had to be so extra. Cotton Candy was taken on Instagram, probably by me, and I forgot my password forever ago. Same with Twitter. So, yep, unfortunately, it's complicated. And then if you type in Cotton Candy on YouTube, I'll probably come up Cotton and then KANDI.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody go check out all of her stuff. Follow her on social media and check out all the vlogs from travels, from just getting to experience everything with you. And I'm really excited for you. I know this is like a turning point in life where it feels like a moment of like a big change, but I think it's going to be all good things for you. And anytime you want to come to the New York, New Jersey area, you have a place to stay.
Aw.
You're always
welcome. I was going to EZoo.
I know. We'll find another festival. Yeah, we'll definitely do another one.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you, girl. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.
So you guys, there we have it, our cotton candy episode. Thank you so much, girl, for coming on this week. I absolutely loved that. I seriously could talk to her forever. It's so nice just like having things in common with someone and just having the conversation flow. And she's just got such an interesting outlook on music festivals and the EDM community. And for someone who started raving at 13 years old, it's crazy. She's had a lot of experiences in this scene, in this industry, and I always love to ask her opinions on music festivals. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. I'm glad we got to cover hard dance music. I'm going to say it correctly now. That was an education for me. I hope for a bunch of you guys out there. I'm definitely going to be going to check out those artists that she recommended. Darren Styles is great, and I hope to go to some festivals and live shows in my area that have hard dance music. I think it sounds really, really fun. There's definitely like an energy about it, and I know that the fans are so loyal to that type of music. So I do want to experience it a little bit more, and I'm going to try and expand the genres that I listen to, and definitely try and have more happy hardcore and hardstyle and hard dance music in my Spotify and my playlists. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm curious to hear your feedback on it. Again, please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. If you want to follow me, it's at Emma Kapotes on Instagram and Twitter, and at raveculturecast on Instagram and Twitter. Again, you guys can submit any topic suggestions, episode ideas, and also please submit to the unpopular EDM opinions and how you carry the plur mentality into your everyday life to raveculturecast@gmail.com. raveculturecast@gmail.com. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your submissions and reading your stories. You guys send in some incredible stuff, and I absolutely love getting to know you guys and just hear your feedback and have you contribute. It's so exciting to see this grow every single week. It blows my mind. It's just kind of surreal when I'm just sitting here in my bedroom recording this and it reaches all of you guys, and I'm so happy that you can relate to the episodes. And I love having people come on here to talk to share their stories as well, because there's so many cool people in the scene, and I just want to continue to bring that to you guys and have just like a positive conversation surrounding the EDM community that we all love so much. And I got a lot of festival suggestions out of today too. I hope we took that away from this as well. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with European music festivals, so Cotton Candy definitely is like the expert on that, and please go show her some love and support. Check out her EDM vlogs and give her a follow on social media. She's wonderful. Such an absolute sweetheart, and if you see her at Nocturnal, definitely go over and say hi to her. I think that's all I've got for you guys. I was gonna say please give this a thumbs up. This is how much YouTube is ingrained in my brain, you guys. But if you want, you can go follow me on YouTube and subscribe over there. I would absolutely love to have you guys. I'm gonna be coming out with some more Electric Zoo content, outfit ideas, and some stuff coming up for Imagine Music Festival. Super excited. Stay tuned again for all the meetup info and just my plans. I'll be having, I think at this point, the Electric Zoo after parties were already supposed to be announced. So I'm going to be giving you guys some info on that. And I think that's all I've got. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. I'll be back next Wednesday with a new episode. Peace.